What's happening, troops? Welcome back to episode 4 of Nay First Touch podcast. Jack, we're getting on, mate, aren't we?
Is that 4 already?
Aye, 4 already.
Smashing.
And obviously, we must address, we missed last week's podcast. Unfortunately, as I said in another video, I had some personal issues that I needed to attend to. And then I was actually away for the weekend. And when I get back, message Jack and I said, do you want to make a wee podcast on Scotland? And Jack, what did you say?
I'm not watching the game.
Exactly. And then I actually mentioned it in my recent video as well. And I was like, the video before last, and I was like, I don't blame him, to be honest with you. Like, what's happening with Scotland?
See, the thing is, I had just came back from work. I was shattered. The last thing I'll want to do is watch another shift. It's not for me.
I know, because that's what it is. It's just
torture. It's a shift. It's a shift to watch them sometimes.
And if you're wondering what's going on with my backdrop, I'm actually in a wee hotel tonight. I'm shooting a wedding tomorrow, so staying overnight.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby, Alonso. Right, so Jacko, can you firstly explain to me what your opinions on international football is? Because obviously we just kind of alluded to the fact you don't watch it, or at least you fell out of love with watching Scotland or whatever. So what's your general feelings towards, firstly, Scotland, and then just maybe international football as a whole?
So, from my personal point of view, Scotland for me, it's one of the ones. I always want them to do well, and I'll always encourage, I'll be happy if they do well. But see, when you put a team of players together that have, let's face it, but there's a good team. There is a good team there, and they just can't perform under. I don't know if it's any pressure, if it's the manager, if it's what. It seems to be as soon as they put on a Scotland tap, they don't play football anymore, and they're not a team anymore. And in terms of like the whole international football as a whole, I mean, I'll watch the World Cup, I'll watch the Euros, but I'm not excited by it. I can't. It's not like I can't wait to get home to watch the Portugal v Sweden game. Like, it's no something I get pure buzzing about. Obviously, the World Cup final, European Championship final, it's a day out. It's a day you can go to the pub, watch it with your pals and stuff, but it doesn't excite me. And I think that's why I fell out of love with it.
I think it's got something to do with the fact that Scotland haven't even been in a major competition since 1998. Were you born in 98, Jack, or 97?
97.
So you're 97.
I've been coming up for one.
You were coming up for one. I was barely out the womb, as I say in my last video, and that was the last time we were able to get to a major competition. So ever since then, every World Cup you watch, every Euros you watch, you're watching other teams, and it's just not the same. Like, I remember when I went to Scotland versus Slovakia, and we had to win the game. It was under Gordon Strachan, and we obviously did win the game, and the feeling was absolutely unbelievable. So it was right up there. But then in true Scottish fashion, we're going to mess it up.
I mean, I remember when I was a wee guy, when we beat France, and the whole country was just
Jack,
in it.
You've broke up a wee bit.
I'm all right now. I'm all right. You're fine on mine.
Oh no, mate, it's coming up. Your internet connection is unstable. Talking about me.
Oh.
I'm fine on yours. Jeez, oh. Come on, hotel Wi-Fi.
Yeah, can you hear me?
What's going on? I can hear you, but you're just like a pixel. Can you hear me?
I can, as long as you can hear me, because mate, it's me that's recording, mind.
Jesus, Johnny, right? Let's just get on with this. We'll see how far we can get.
As long as you can hear me, because you're fine on mine.
Right, come on, hotel Wi-Fi. Come on, boys.
I remember being a wee guy and we beat France, and the whole country was just uplifted. Everybody you seen was like, "Oh, did you see the game last night? Oh, did you see this? Did you see that?" And it was just, that was a thing that is when Scotland play well, the country is happy, and when Scotland aren't playing well, the country isn't happy, and it's been the latter for a long time.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I think that's enough about international football, though. Let's move on to the title of the video. It's a man, the myth, the legend, Alfredo Morelos. A lot of rumours circulating about him going to Lille originally, and then other kind of, I wouldn't call them concrete kind of rumours. Him going to like Porto and your BAYER Leverkusens and all that sort of stuff. For me, I'm getting to a point where I'm like, I just want him to either move on or stay at the club. Like, it's gone on far too long for me now. But it's just starting to really bug me. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
Are you the same, or?
It's one of the ones for me is obviously the club don't want to come out and say it's concrete if it isn't concrete, but I feel like the club need to say something because the fans we're the ones on Twitter every single day. We're the ones looking up all these stupid links and see if there's a link out there that isn't true. Just say it. Just say that one's no isn't real or that one isn't this. You don't need to come out and say he's leaving or he's staying. You need to keep us up to date because at the end of the day, we're the one that pay the wages, we're the one that pay this, pay that. We pay hundreds and maybe thousands of pounds every year and we're left in the dark to the last minute. And for me, like I said, one of the last ones, I think it is his time is ending at us and I'd be happy to see him move on. But then again, see if he was to stay, I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm angry about it.
I know you're talking about on his day, Rangers' best player. Well, last season anyway, I don't think there was anybody that could live with Alfredo Morelos in the first 6 months of the season, especially in Europe as well. But the way that we've kind of came back, it seems to me that he's making Ryan Kent more of a focal point in the attacks and stuff. And it looked like in the pre-season games and the limited games that we've actually seen Morelos that he was kind of getting a little bit frustrated because it was all going through Ryan Kent and Morelos was having to kind of drop deep, get involved and play a game that wasn't really his game. Do you know what I mean? So if that is the case and Rangers are now moving to that system where they are focusing on the wingers more, maybe like a Liverpool style, I don't know if Alfredo Morelos will fit into that the way that he has done recently because I think he's just not a guy that everything needs to go through him. But last season, that could only go on for so long. Do you know what I mean? Like when he didn't show up, Rangers started to become unstuck. When he was injured, Rangers started to become unstuck because there was no goals from midfield, there was no creativity for the wingers and stuff like that. But so far, it seems to be that the system is kind of changing.
You can see it for the very start of this season. I mean, the start of last season, I would have been absolutely fuming if Morelos wasn't in that starting 11. And now it's completely changed. And I get worried if Aribo's not starting. I get worried if Kent's not starting. The feelings of players are starting to shift. I feel like Aribo and Kent are two of probably the most important players in that team now. And that's the shame because if Morelos is in that team, he is the number one. He's the guy that he's the guy you put that team around. He's the guy you focus on, and he's proven time and time again if you do that, he gives you results. So it's a shame if Gerrard's playing this new style away in preparation for him leaving. Fair enough, but let us know what's happening.
I know it's kind of dragging on a wee bit now. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's probably getting to the point where he either needs to move on or he needs to stay. Like, going back to last season, some of the moments that he produced were absolutely incredible in Europe, especially for me. Like the away game versus Feyenoord where he scored the two headers. It was absolutely unbelievable. It was up there with the best performances, and there was a lot of those games like Young Boys and stuff where he just took the game with the scuff of the neck, and without him. Then Porto as well, remember his goals versus Porto, just some of the moments that he gave us last season was absolutely incredible, and I don't want him to go away in a bad note. I don't want this to go on for that long that it goes for the hero to the villain, which could so easily happen.
See, on a side note about the transfer speculation, I think Porto would be a class move for him. I think that'd be an amazing move.
I mean, he's already showed the Portuguese that he can ruin their defence twice.
Exactly.
So he's shown them that he's very much good enough to fit into that Porto team. 100%. And I don't think it's a problem. I'm fitting into a lot of teams, to be quite honest with you. Like I think the only thing that stops him from going to a top 4, top 6 in England is maybe his disciplinary. But I just don't see how he couldn't go easily fit into the Prem and play for like a West Ham, Crystal Palace. He could easily fit into those teams. Newcastle definitely. And stuff like that. Even if you go to Germany, I think he could play for some of the big dogs over there because it's a different standard. And
they're physical as well.
Porto's a good shout though.
I think Porto. See, as soon as I heard that, it's exactly when I hear Lille, when I hear this and I hear that, I'm like, I mean, he might want to go there. See, I heard Porto and I was like, see, to be fair, that's a good move.
Lille are average kind of club, average size. Porto are a top club, one of the biggest in the country. But we're not trying to flaunt our boy here. Preferably Alfredo Morelos stays, but it's just way how long and stuff like that's going on. It's just getting a wee bit annoying. Which brings me to the next wee topic that we're going to get into, and it is, what was your first impression of Morelos? Since on the topic still of Morelos, what was your first impression of the guy?
I'll be brutally honest, I didn't like him. When he first came in, who was it he got signed with? Who was the other person that signed with him? Herrera?
Oh, Ryan Jack, I think. Or was it?
I mean, like there's two strikers that were up there.
Aye, big Herrera, big sexy man.
Mate, I used to prefer Herrera. I used to want him on. This is how much I didn't rate him at all at the very
start. Oh my god, I'm hoping that my Wi-Fi goes away again right now. Am I hearing you right?
Don't worry, I get slagged rotten in the chats. Don't worry about it. I'll eat my words and I'll say I'm wrong. But when he first came, I remember there was a game at home. Herrera started, and it was like 60 minutes in. I think we were still drawing that on each, and he brought him on, and I was like, what's he going to do on it? I was going off my nut, and then he scored 2 and won 2-0. I was like, right, okay, we won, fair enough. But
that's what he's going to do.
It's one of those ones. Even though I was so on the fence about him to begin with, there was many others like me, and he's proved every single one of them wrong.
Mm-hmm. I remember when Caixinha came in, obviously, and he signed guys like your Herreras and your Penas and all that. Those were the guys you were a wee bit more excited. And Cardozo, you were a wee bit more excited for him, because you're thinking to yourself, oh, we're getting this Portuguese manager in. Like, these guys that he's bringing in are going to be, of a decent standard. Obviously, they weren't. They were absolutely rank rotten. Do you know what I mean? And the wee guy for Helsinki that we only bought for £1 million was unbelievable. But I remember seeing it, Helsinki, 1 million, Alfredo Morelos, and I was like, it's a strange one, eh? And when you hear about the story about how Johansson obviously is finished and he was a coach at the time, and he put a word in saying, go and get this boy, he's absolutely unbelievable, and Rangers done it. And my first impression of him, the very first one I remember, was his goal against Hibs in the opening day of the season. Rangers went and get beat 3-2. Pretty much, I think it was Tavernier, first 5 minutes, 0-0, crosses the ball in, and it's a header for Morelos. And I remember his celebration. I was like, okay, great start. And then from there, if you remember, although he was playing with terrible players, man, and had Caixinha as a manager, he went on a goal-scoring record where he scored like near enough every game, mind?
Aye. It pretty much, see when he came in, it was one of the ones where you want a striker like who's going to play every week to hit the ground running. And he did. It wasn't like a case of we were 5-6 games in, they hadn't got a goal yet. He hit the ground running for the game, and he's been like that ever since. He's not really, obviously he's had dips in form, but I feel like every single time he plays bad or he doesn't have a good game, I don't get annoyed at him, because I'm like, no, he'll bounce back next game.
He's that kind of guy. He is that kind of guy. He will continue to go. Just look at the Old Firms. It's absolutely criminal that he hasn't got a goal in an Old Firm, because near enough every single Old Firm game he's played, he's bossed the 2 centre-halves. Doesn't matter who he's playing against. I remember he done it to Big Boyata. He's done it recently to Julian and Aya. It's criminal that he's not
every single one of them, he's bossed the defence and he's missed us up.
That's a problem. I mean, but we're going to go into that then slightly. So he scores all his goals in the first season, right? And then he just goes on this barren record, doesn't he? And he seems to do that. He seems to do that quite frequently. If you think about last season, he was unstoppable, and then the last 6 months, non-existent. It's weird, isn't it? I don't get that.
It's like the team as a whole. Like we look at last season, we were unstoppable up until Christmas. We looked like we could have challenged for the title, and then literally the complete opposite of what we wanted to do happened. Like we were getting beat off Hamilton at home. Like who would ever have predicted that? If you said to me at Christmas, Hamilton are going to beat you at home, I'd have laughed at you.
I think the COVID was a blessing in disguise for Rangers.
Oh, 100%.
Because
we needed a break.
Our mindset, we needed a break. Our mindset was gone. Getting beat off Hamilton, getting papped out in the quarterfinals against Hearts without a fight. It was. I remember the manager was kind of questioning, what have I been doing the last 2 years? Like, if this is a performance I'm getting at this stage,
exactly.
And we've managed to bounce back, which is absolutely tremendous. So, what was your? I spoke about mine. What's been your favourite goal from the wee Morelos?
I mean,
There's been plenty.
there's many to choose from. I think the one I would go with just because I don't even. I wish see if you could get a recording of how much you celebrated a goal. This would be one of the. This would be up there in my list. See the one where he scored against to put us into the group stages last minute header.
Liga Warsaw,
Liga
Jordan Jones
Warsaw.
in the left wing,
Oh my
crosses
god,
it in.
man!
Alfredo
Oh my god!
Morelos, the crowd goes wild.
That was up there. That was a cracker. I really liked what was the other one.
There's been many.
See the one they scored. I think it was one against Hibs, and he comes out. I think we beat them we beat them at home. Actually, rattled them. I think Jermaine Defoe got 2, and then he came off, and Morelos came on, and he got 2.
And he got 2. Aye, that was the game where Scott Allen played that pass. Remember?
Aye, the pass.
Aye, it was like 6-1 or something, and he played that pass, and then everybody was absolutely ranting and raving about it.
Oh man, that was the day when we beat them 6-1, and their best player was our keeper.
Absolutely.
Says a lot.
Marciano, who was in goals for Israel the other
He had
night.
a good game. He had a good game, and he beat 6-1.
It was absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Last wee thing on Morelos then. We talk about the fact that he goes in and out of form sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to me like he has an attitude type of player. He needs to be bang on it. But there's been a lot of stuff off the field. I know it's easy just to look at it from a footballing point of view. Why no State Rangers? Why no this? Why no that?
Aye.
But if you look at some of the stuff he's had to deal with off the field, it's been terrible.
Definitely.
I mean, the racism, the media has been just absolutely after him at every opportunity. Not to mention some dafty tried to screw about with his car. I mean,
exactly.
What must he be thinking?
It gets to a point where he's the same age as me. It gets to a point where he turns around and says, "What's the point? I can get because no doubt in my mind he's going to go to Porto and get a bigger wage than he's getting here. So why should he stay in Scotland, which let's face it isn't the sunniest country in the world? go to Portugal, get more money, play possibly in the Champions League, and probably get nowhere near the amount of abuse he gets up here. I mean, he must hate doing it. He must hate doing anything. I remember once I was out for a birthday party and I was in Sanctuary, and he came in and he was in a booth like 2 or 3 doing for me, and he didn't even get a moment's peace. So I was like, even though it's a kindness, people want to get a photo of him, this and that, he must be sick of it.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely, man. I mean, for all the good things though, you're getting all these dafties as well.
A lot of bad, man. A
lot of bads. Like the amount of Celtic players that I've seen, and I'm not tarnishing Celtic fans here because it's not just Celtic fans. It's all fans. It's all fans. When they see a rival player, a lot of them are they daft stuff. Like the amount of Celtic players I've seen, and I've just not even batted an eyelid. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I've seen like Callum McGregor out and about. I've
served Brian Christie a pint when I've up
there you go. Served him a pint.
His eye was out to here, man. It was right after that injury.
Seriously? Oofed. But I just don't get the slaggings that they like. These are
I'm all for a bit of banter, but no when it gets personal. I'm all for a bit of banter. No. See, I remember once Lee Griffiths came in when I worked in Morrison's. He came in and got a wee pint of milk, and I was like, I'm not serving him. having a laugh for a woman on the tills, and they're all about to get photos. I'm like, tell him to go through that self scanner. But obviously, it's no like a spite. It's just a bit of banter in it.
Exactly, mate. Could not agree with you more. Right, so we spoke a wee bit about Alfie in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Can the boy Roof score as much goals as him in Europe? Oh my God, I'll start us off here. I think it's going to be difficult. I've said already, I don't think Roof will score as many goals as him. This is obviously hypothetically speaking. If Morelos does move on, I don't think Roof will score as much. And what I mean by that is I don't think he'll get 30 plus goals this season.
Mm-hmm.
Can he date in Europe? He's going to need to. He's going to need to. Because, and I don't envy him because last season, Morelos was unbelievable in Europe. Unbelievable, mate, wasn't he? So, Roof, it's going to be hard. Or Roffy, whatever you want to call him.
Whatever the kit man decides.
Aye.
For me, Roof is one of the players that I'm being very patient now because I know he's injury list and he's been through all this stuff. He's not really match fit, so I'm giving him the time he needs now. For me, he's not going to score as much goals as Alfie, based on the fact that I don't think we play focused on that number. We don't play focused on him getting the goals. I think we play a game where Aribo can score, Kent can score, Hadji can score, even Tab will get one, and Roof is going to be in that mix, obviously. But I can see there being games where he doesn't get a goal, Kent gets two, and all these different kind of plays. I feel like Gerrard's brought him in to be involved in that group of attackers rather than an attacker with a group behind him to support him.
Mm-hmm. See if you can spread the goals a wee bit more. You can get Kent with 15 goals, Roof 15 goals, and Hadji 10, 15 goals. We've been crying out for that because for so long you're getting 30 goals a season off Morelos, and probably 5 is the closest, 5, 6, 7 goals is the closest, and that's not going to win your leagues. It's not exactly. It's not going to win your leagues, not going to win your cups, in my opinion. So I'm quite happy that we're going down this route. Moving on to international duty then, there was a few players that stood out. Obviously, a number of Rangers players now playing internationally. Celtic players have done it for a long, long time. Hunters, not Hunters, but a good few Aberdeen players and Motherwell players and all that sort of stuff. But one or two, let's say, to be quite fair, stood right out to me, and it was BAYER at Norway and Kamara at Finland. I thought Kamara was unbelievable.
That was my point there. I'm working most of these international games in this. I didn't really catch a lot. I watched a few highlights, but the one game I caught was Finland-Ireland, and he bossed that midfield.
He did, and that's a game that I watched as well. I thought he was absolutely incredible, and he played a different role for them. He played a wee bit more attacking, without being like. I like that as well because he's got a lot of good attributes. So he's got a lot of really good attributes, and maybe we don't use them as much as we can. I remember last season, we played Hamilton last season and they broke through, and Glenn Kamara just came sprinting back and made a last-ditch tackle. We need to see more of that. We need to see more of that going forward as well.
That performance reminded me so much of the game where we beat Celtic 2-0 at Ibrox. See the game where he feints Brown and passes it through and all that. Just that style of play. It was so comfortable in that midfield. Anytime there was a player around him, he knew he was there. He knew exactly where he was going to go. He knew exactly what pass he was going to play. He made a few errors here and there, but who doesn't? And I think he won a game. I just thought, and as a whole, that's the Kamara we need to play rather than this passing. Because look at the season so far. Kamara's passing balls back to Goldson, left, right, centre. It's one of the ones where if Gerrard tells him, look, play your game, he'll turn and he'll offer these different passes because he got it in him.
I agree. I just don't think he's playing at Rangers with the confidence at the moment to do that.
Definitely.
It just seems that way. Moving on to BAYER then, he's rumoured to be one of the players that wants out at Celtic. He's doing it at international level, starting at centre half now for Norway with the boy Haaland, who's just, oh my God, wow.
I know.
We're talking about BAYER, but Haaland is just
next level, isn't he?
Mate, his 2 finishes against Northern Ireland were beautiful. It was Northern Ireland, wasn't it? I think it was. It was Northern Ireland because he swapped shirts with Stuart Dallas after the game.
Haaland
literally said to him as well, like Dallas was walking past and Haaland's like, swap. He's like, absolutely, mate, absolutely. But BAYER's now doing it at international level. Do you think he's going to move on for Celtic this window or next?
I think if he wants to, I feel like if I was a Celtic fan, I'd want him. I always said I would never want a player at my club that didn't want to be there. But I think BAYER, Duffy and Julian is a cracking back three. I think if Lennon can convince him to stay and convince him to play for the badge, that three is going to be hard to break down. It's going to be hard to play against, definitely. So it's one of the ones. If he wants it, then I'd let him go. If he doesn't want it, he's going to be a part of a strong team that's gone for probably the biggest season in the club's history.
I agree with you there, mate. I agree with you. Right, let's get on to the first teaser. I've got a couple of just wee questions for you, Jack. Just a couple of wee questions. First one is, who was the first Brit to win a European Cup with a continental team, so a non-British team?
Oh my God, man. Jesus.
Let's talk through your thinking here. What's the first thing you're thinking so far?
I'm trying to think who's played abroad that's like next level.
He's Scottish, right? We'll just say that. We'll narrow it down. Scottish player.
I'm trying to think of Scottish players that have played abroad and like successfully played abroad, because you get a few ones that they went to Italy or something like that, and they've absolutely effed it. No, I don't know if I
There's
swear
a
on this
lot.
channel.
On you go. Batter in, mate.
Monetising on that, Jazz.
Right, let me chime in a wee bit then, Ryan. This
Right,
guy, wonderfully gifted football player.
Mm-hmm.
He played for the Old Firm, one of the Old Firm.
One of the Old Firm, okay.
Played for one of the Old Firm, wonderfully gifted football player, and he probably got his big break at this club. He'd been about a wee bit, but he got his big break at this club, and he took it.
Man, that's a
Yes.
cracking question. I'm not gonna lie, mate. That's a cracking question. I'll be steering this for the Rangers chat.
Well, I don't know if you want to put this man in the Rangers chat.
Oh, is that a Celtic player?
There we go.
Okay. See, my instant thought when I heard player winning something that big was like your Douglases, your best, all that kind of jazz. But I don't know if they ever played abroad. I'm not even sure about that. Not gonna lie, I know I'm no pure blue tinted glasses, but I don't really pay attention to Celtic players.
Get involved in the comments.
Aye, please help me.
So we'll just continue then. This club, we just spoke about their star man, their star striker, 2 seconds ago.
Dortmund.
Yes. So he played for Dortmund.
Who the hell played for Dortmund?
I think you'll know this when I tell you the answer.
What kind of era are we talking about here?
90s.
90s. Oh, so Dortmund won the Champions League in 97.
Yes, correct. I think that was their first European Cup.
I know that because it was the year I was born. I remember checking that. Oh my god. I'm going to hate this when I hear it now.
And then, I don't know exactly when he went to Celtic, but it was after.
Was it after Dortmund? Right,
it was after Dortmund that he ended up there. I don't know directly if it was for Dortmund to there, but it was definitely after. And I think he played in a team that wasn't dominant. He played in the midfield. I always remember, I look at him now, right, and I think, he looks fresh as a daisy, right? But he used to be a manager, right, in the Premier League. And see, when he managed, he looked like Winston for Still Game. Spit an image when he was stretched out his barnet. What? Do you know who it is?
No, I don't know.
Do you want me to give you the answer?
Yes, please.
Paul Lambert.
Shut up. No, Paul Lambert played for Dortmund in the Champions League.
Yes, do you not know that?
Oh my god, man. I'm going to tell you something after this podcast done about Paul Lambert. I can't say it on the YouTube.
Oh,
I've got a bit of gossip for you.
Is he actually Winston for Still Game? Is that what it is?
I'm not allowed to say, but
that could be. You're not saying it isn't. You're not saying it isn't.
Let's move on for that.
Did you manage to count up the scores for the predictors the other week?
I have done, yes.
Let's go. Let's run through them then, mate.
Shall I go for that? So
yes, go for it.
Last week's games consisted of Kelly, Dundee United, Livingston, Ross County, St Johnstone, St Mirren, Hamilton Rangers, Celtic Motherwell and Hibs Aberdeen. So first game, Kilmarnock Dundee United. You said 2-1 Dundee United. I said 1 each. It finished 4-0 to Kelly.
I covered that game. United were bloody stinking, man.
So no points there. And to be honest, I don't think anybody predicted that. Livingston Ross County. I said 2-1 Livy. You said 1-0 County. It finished 1-0 to Livingston. So I get 3 points. Third game, St Johnstone versus St Mirren. I said 1-0 St Mirren. You said 2-0 St Mirren. It finished 1-0 St Johnstone.
We're good at this. Boys.
Yeah, we're brilliant. Hamilton Rangers. I said 3-0. You said 4-0. It finished 2-0. Probably should have been 3 or 4 to be honest with you. Celtic Motherwell. We both said 2-0. It finished 3-0. Could have been 4 as well. Hibs Aberdeen, I said 2-1 Hibs. You said 2-1 Aberdeen. It finished 1-0 Aberdeen. So we both finished on 9 points. So the gap doesn't change. You're on 30 points. I'm on 21.
Nice.
9 points ahead.
I was scared with some of the results that were happening. I couldn't exactly remember my predictions. I thought you were going to close in, mate.
I seen Kelly's game and I was like, right, that's something going to be a good week, is it?
I pulled it back with the Aberdeen games. I think that's what it was.
Aye. The Rangers and Celtic one was kind of going to be a given for the Perriers, but the fact that you got the Aberdeen one kind of pulled you back.
Beautiful. That's what I love to see. Guys, if you're new around here, please hit the subscribe button. show some support on the podcast. The last one did really, really well. We appreciate it. It shows that you guys are enjoying it as well. And hopefully, when all this COVID calms down a wee bit, we can start recording them in person. Maybe get a few guests on.
Aye, definitely.
Cut of players or something like that. That'd be decent.
That'd be
Jack, dreaded moment again. I'm going to hit you with another teaser, mate. Double decker.
I've got one for you and to be honest. So
have you? Aye. Beautiful. Do you want to go first?
I've got it in my notes somewhere. Wait a second.
Right, go for it. Grab it.
There we are. Right, okay.
Imagine we had the same question.
Don't say that. How many times have Rangers and Celtic faced each other in a cup final? Be that Scottish Cup or League Cup?
Oh my God, this is a madness. Right, so I remember a cup final where Darnell D scored and they won, right? So that's one. I remember a cup final.
Don't try and count them.
Don't try and count them?
Like,
okay.
You need to go back to like the 70s, 60s.
Mate, there's got to be, right, Rangers were founded 1872, them 1888. So from 1888 on to 2020, they went a bloody, like, 2 a season and stuff like that. There's got to be 75, Jack. That
You're nowhere near.
I'm nowhere near. My hot or cold?
Freezing.
106.
29.
What? You're joking. 29.
29.
Oh, fair enough. I was overestimating.
I'm not too sure what the split in each one of them is, but they've beat us a lot more in Scottish Cup and we've beaten them a lot in League Cup. That's pretty much how it balances it.
That makes sense.
But, so I was quite shocked myself when I found that out.
75,
I started thinking about it. Imagine all the times we got them in the semi-final. Imagine all the times we got them in the quarter-final. Imagine all the times none of us got there, stuff like that. So, 29 times, aye.
That's a lovely wee question. Talking about Scottish Cup finals, right? Who scored the winner for Rangers in the 2003 Scottish Cup final versus Dundee? Jack, 2003, mate.
2003.
Versus Dundee. So who was playing? Let's think. Wee Barry was still playing, wasn't he, at the time?
Neil McCann.
He's not the answer because I said it. No, wasn't Neil McCann.
Lovenkrands playing?
Wasn't he Lovenkrands? But I think Lovenkrands was playing because I think he was playing.
Have you picked this because it's somebody pure unusual?
No unusual, but no your norm to score. He scored a few.
Big Ammo.
Brilliant for you. Tremendous. Big Ammo. That's it, mate.
Quality.
Before you geese pelters in the comments, remember that me and Jack were born in 98, 97, right? So 2003, like, I don't even know what I was doing.
I don't remember the game being on, but I've looked back and seen highlights and stuff, DVDs.
So there you go, big Lorenzo.
That's a cracker. As soon as I thought about somebody being unusual, and you said no, really, I was like, right, he scored a couple.
Beautiful. So let's get into the predictions because this is supposed to be just a prediction show as well. So the first game that we're going to predict, Aberdeen versus Kilmarnock. I'll kick us off. I'm going for a 2-1 victory to Aberdeen. Going to back Aberdeen again. Back them versus Hibs. They're on unbelievable form. Ross McCrory is just on fire at the moment. Kilmarnock, when they beat Dundee United 4-0, they were really, really good. But I don't know if they're going to go for 2 up top versus Aberdeen because that's what they've done in that game. So we'll just wait and see.
Funnily enough, I've went Aberdeen 2, Kilmarnock 1. I think Aberdeen are on the rise now. They're playing really good football. I think they're going to stay this form. They're going to beat the Kilmarnock, then they'll maybe drop to Livingston or something like that. They're going to be like this all season. I think they had a wee tough start, honestly, but I think they're on the rise now. I think they'll be stronger than Kelly, especially at home.
Nice one. Right, next game, Spaghetti Hag, Livingston versus Hamilton. What are you saying? I
went for a Livingston 2, Hamilton 0.
Wow, snap! That's me. I'm the same. Right. Put that down. We're pretty much just copying each other at this point.
You're just copying my answers so that you will win this at the end of the year.
Aye. Every single time you think me, I'm just going to copy it, mate. Now win.
Hamilton going to teams, they're probably going to go down, if no second last. So Livingston seem to be this team that are unstoppable at home. So I 2-0 Livingston.
Mm-hmm. From a couple of good teams that have had a poor start to probably one of the most surprising teams. It's Motherwell versus St Johnstone. St Johnstone under Davidson doing all right at the moment. Motherwell really, really struggling. I'm going for a 1-0 draw. Please don't tell me you have that.
I've got a 2-0 draw.
Oh, oh well,
we're
it's not the same.
either going to get 3 points or one is only 5. So that's a good. There's no copycatting here. But Motherwell haven't won a game this season, and I still don't think they're going to get it. St Johnstone are a good team. They've proved that this season. They're not having the best, they're not having the worst. They're kind of being St Johnstone. That's the best way to put it.
2 each would be an incredible game.
Aye, definitely.
Right. I think we might have the same for this as well, right? So on the counter, 3, 2, 1, go. We're both going to say what we've done for Rangers versus Dundee United. You ready?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1, go.
3-1.
3-1, you think we're going to concede?
I do, mate.
I think you said that last time as well, didn't you?
I did think that. I see.
I almost went 3-1.
And my thinking is for my own mental health. If I keep saying we're going to get a clean sheet, it will hurt me more when they get the goal. So see if I expect it, I'll be like, right, we've won the game. Fair enough. You need to concede at 1 point. And Dundee United are an alright team, so I wouldn't be surprised if they got one.
I like that psyche for you. I love it. Right, moving on to the Dingwall boys. There'll actually be, we never mentioned this, but there'll be fans in the Aberdeen game versus Kilmarnock, and there'll be 300 fans in the Ross County versus Celtic game. 300 Dingwallians. Unfortunately for them.
If there's that many of them.
If there's that many, if they can sell that out. They might need to give some tickets to the local primary schools. Right, I'm just like Scotland Day. So I don't think the Dingwallians are going to fare decently in this game. I'm going for Ross County 1, Celtic 3.
Right, we've not got the same score this time, but it's the same result. I went for Ross County 0, Celtic 4. Jesus,
so that's a pumping.
Aye, I see it. It's one of the ones like Celtic. I've got that in them against anybody. Obviously, maybe not against us these days. Obviously, they've done it in the past, but I feel like every team bar us, they've got a pumping in them. Like they could do it, but it's just a matter of when if they show up. They've not really been showing up so far this season, but I can feel it in me. Like we're all getting quite happy that they're not playing that well, and then they're just going to go bang 10-game winning streak.
I feel it in my fingers. Oh. I feel it in my toes. You like that?
I'm not joining in, but I'll...
How? I thought you were going to join in. All right, last game. St Mirren 0, Hibs 0. Just got to go and just say the score.
Really?
Right, I think it's got to be a 0-0. I think it's got to be stinking. The only thing is, Jack Alnwick is out with coronavirus, and so is Lee Hodgson for Hamilton, though. But Jack Alnwick is out with coronavirus, and that could be pivotal. I still think it's going to be 0-0.
I went St Mirren 1, Hibs 3.
Oh, that's a pumpkin.
I think Hibs are going to go there. No, maybe not have an easy game, but I think the scoreline will might even flatter Hibs, but I think they'll go there and get 3.
Maybe if Big Nisbet's back, man. I'm missing watching him.
He's one of the players that's going to do well this season, and I think we all kind of understand that he's going to play, but it's just a matter of when he gets back to full fitness and when he can play.
Absolutely. But Jack, that's it. That's everything, mate.
Sorted. Another one dusted.
Another one bites the dust. I felt a wee bit it was a weird. I felt energetic during this, but I'm also absolutely knackered at the same time. Absolutely pampered, mate.
Anybody watching wondering what happened before we did this? It was just moaning about how tired he is.
I was, to be fair. I just mentioned it, do you know what I mean? I'm here, ain't I could have easily patched it, do you know what I mean? Never ate all day.
Well, you seen what I done yesterday. I'm shattered and all. I'm right off the back of Ben Nevis summit.
Oh, remember the first or second episode? I don't shame when I climb hills.
Mate,
no, but mate, that's brilliant.
I'm bragging about that.
No, that is classy. When I seen you were doing it, I was like, dropped you a message and I says, don't fall off the cliff.
See, to be fair,
no, I didn't see
you were thinking it. It was not as hard as the first one of them. See the Ben Nairn and Ben something else. Back to back. That was a lot harder than Ben Nevis. Ben Nevis to me was just a long walk.
Seriously, it was incline.
there was a few bits and bobs that were a wee bit like, oh, you need to climb at this clip, and then you need to walk across. It's a lovely bit. You need to walk across like a waterfall. Dead nice, pure cranking for a 40. But overall, I think the main thing was a mental thing, because see, like for like coffee, you're just in clouds, you can't see nothing. So it's a mental thing about keep going. But we got to the tap in 2 hours 45, and it was saying on the website that it was saying on the website to take 4 hours. So clearly they don't know who's walking up that.
The machine, Jacko, the machine is walking up at that
I
soon.
know. And by the way, I've heard as well, we Gogsy wants us doing Kilimanjaro. What's that sort of it?
Oh my God, I know. Did they message you as well?
Aye, message me, I know, mate.
Aye, there must be low numbers, man. I was like, I don't know. I mean, to be honest with you, it sounds something that's right. It sounds like something's right up my street, but I think it's about 10 big ones. Do you know what I mean? So
it, man. I know,
it's a lot of racks.
I don't know how much it all costs and stuff. I'm interested. I'll say that. I've not said yes. I've not said no. I'm interested though.
I'm the exact same, to be honest with you. I'm interested. It's just whether I'm allowed after leash.
Forget me, I've got a missus.
Exactly, mate. But anyway, Troops, that's going to do us for this video. Jack, you get anything to add before we go, mate?
Just obviously, thanks to everybody watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and give the Instagram a follow.
Brilliant. Follow Jack as well. What's your Instagram, Jack?
Jack_Robertson, and there's a wee extra N at the end of Robertson there.
I'd like to see you make some. You got to do any more YouTube videos? You finished with that?
Maybe.
We'll leave it with that. Another week of fire. Right, Troops. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again on the next one. And we're off, Ski.